Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Bestie Please podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nina.
I'm Lexi.
And this is Bestie Please.
This is Bestie Please, episode 3.
Episode 3, 3 episodes already.
Wow.
That's a vibe.
Our first one was released
yesterday.
The day that we're this,
technically Monday.
Technically Monday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. But when you're seeing this, it'll be like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us.
So exciting. So exciting. It finally launched.
It's been so good.
It's been good. I got lots of positive vibes from it. I got lots of feedback. It was great.
Lots of good feedback or what?
Lots of feedback, like, it was great, but I'm not listening to it.
What? Yeah. Oh my god,
like,
the negativity.
The feedback was like, oh my gosh, it was so good, except I know you really well, so the things you spoke about in your first episode I already knew.
Well, fair.
I was like, yeah, but like our thousands of followers don't know.
Yeah, didn't you know that we're so famous?
Didn't you know that? Didn't you know?
Didn't you know?
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. I've had some good things too. I actually haven't spoken to anyone who's properly listened to it yet, though.
I've been at work and you haven't.
That's
People have been
true.
coming up to like, I went on my morning walk this morning and I listened to it. I'm halfway through. I can't believe you died. I can't believe Lexi died. And I was like, I know.
Okay, actually, that was one of the things that I've written down to talk about today because your parents listened to the podcast, didn't they?
They did. And I think my dad said... Yeah, go.
Your parents listened to the podcast and while they were listening, and this is the best part, they gave you a running commentary.
They did. They did. Should I read them out?
In the form of hashtags. Yes, please.
I read them out. So our episode released yesterday and my parents are like trying to be so supportive of this. Like they are just like going for it. My dad put his little headphones in and went for a walk last night along the beach and listened to the podcast. It was really cute. It sent me a little selfie, like gorgeous, just gorgeous. But I just kept getting text messages pop up every couple of minutes while they were listening to it.
Ding ding, ding ding.
My mum sends me hashtags. My mum is, bless her heart, she tries to be so trendy. She's like, girl. Her first one's girl, and then she goes hashtag not a disease, babe. Hashtag only one tumor. And then she sends me a photo of her listening to it and she goes, apple pie, question mark. Of course you've eaten apple pie. You sound so good together. I love this. Hashtag flatliner.
So we just need to clear you up as a fat liar, to be honest.
No, I would take it. I lied for years.
You lied.
I lied. On the pod.
In front of everyone.
To everyone,
on the whole
I lied.
internet.
My dad said to me last night, he was like, we were talking about the podcast and he was like, I feel the need to like come and feature for like 5 minutes and explain my parents' side of what happened so that they're like, they can just tell everyone that they're not terrible parents, that I'm actually fine. Surgery went well.
Nobody thinks they're terrible parents. We all think you're a liar now because you told us not only have you been telling people that you died, but it wasn't a disease. It was one tumor. Still terrifying and still very sad. But
I made my bed and now I have to lie in it, you know?
You do.
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Also, you've had apple pie.
I am convinced. Me and my parents and I got into like a bit of an argument about it last night because they were like,
no.
Yes, you have. I was like, I think I would remember, Dave and Kez, if I've eaten an apple pie. And I'm 99% sure that I have never had an apple pie ever. And they were like, of course you have. Who doesn't have apple pie? And I was like, me. I don't think I've had
apple
pie
you.
before. Apparently me.
That's wild.
But yeah, I just think they should be blocked from the podcast for future reference. They just had too much to say, honestly.
They're just calling you out on your BS.
Calling me out. But you know what's even worse? It was my dad called me out in front of everyone on my 21st birthday when he was meant to give a nice speech about how much he loves me and how much like it's been a joy to watch me grow all these years. No, he got up on that stage with that microphone and he said, this girl right here is a liar. And and she's made us look bad for years, and everyone get a good look because never trust her with a secret again because she'll spin it.
No.
Oh, he outed me.
That's
he outed
fair.
me.
Do you know what, though? Is he wrong? Is he
no,
wrong?
Absolutely not. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me a single thing ever because I will twist
That's
it.
fair.
I'll twist it.
Same.
I'll twist it into something. Oh,
No,
gosh.
I'm like notorious in my friend group. I'm getting better actually with old age. Maybe it's because I forget things. But
You goldfish?
I cannot, literally, I cannot keep a secret. Like, I'm so bad. Scott and I, every year since we've been together, so it's like 4.5 years now,
Yeah.
have given each other our presents for anniversary, birthdays, Christmas, whatever, at least a day early. At least.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
We've never given like our presents on the actual celebration day.
Actually, that's not too weird because my family has a tradition where you open one present before, like, on the night of your birthday. Basically, we just got interrupted for a hot second because I live with multiple people and we're trying to remember where we got up to. But bottom line, I'm a liar.
You're a liar.
I'm a liar. I'm a big fat liar.
I'm a big fat liar.
I'm a big fat liar. Seriously, I can't keep a secret at all.
Oh, that's what we were saying. Presents.
Oh, yeah. My family, we do one present the night before your birthday.
Oh, cute.
One present. And you open it together the night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Because I think my whole family's got that, like, the anticipation feeling. And it's like if you do one, then that satisfies the feeling until the next day.
Yeah.
However, I get like
but
that.
Scott and I only do one present.
Yeah, right.
You will open one present, that's the present.
That'd be hard. I love buying things for people. Like if I've got someone in my brain that I know I need to buy something for, like literally that was maybe a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, I want to get Ella something really cute. And then I just walked into a store and I saw something. I was like, I'm buying that for Ella, just cause, no reason.
Aww.
I have to, like, I love buying people things. Like, I just pick random things that makes me reminds me of other people. So I always accumulate a lot of presents per person.
Well, it's not that, like, I mean, yeah, we just don't buy each other a lot of things because the one present that we do buy is generally, I mean, I say one, it's normally like 1 to 3. Like monetary value, like we normally go on the higher price of things.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't want to spend too much money, so we just buy one really expensive gift as opposed to like lots of cheap.
Yeah. Me and Zach have a no present policy.
Why?
Because it's presents. So hard. I love presents too, but I'm fortunate enough that like if it's like a birthday or Christmas, like there's always I've got like a larger family, and so we just everyone does it for each other. But when it comes to Zach, I really struggle to buy for Zach, honestly, because I really struggle to buy for Zach.
Boys are hard.
Only in the sense that like I know him quite well, and we've been together for almost 5 years. I feel like every year I just re-buy the same thing I got last year, but in a different color or in a different version. What? Like shoes. Like when we first started dating, I would buy him shoes and clothes, which he still wears today. And then like the next year I'd buy him a different pair of shoes in a different color, but the same brand. And then I would like buy him, he loves to play Dungeons and Dragons. So like I get him D&D things, and I'm like, oh, I did that last year. I really struggle.
How many sets of dice have you bought him?
I actually, not a lot, honestly, but he has.
Really?
Yeah, but he has that big a collection. Like,
yeah. I was going to say, that's like their big thing.
I wouldn't want to buy him anymore. Like, he's
yeah.
so many. So many.
That's so funny. Him and Scott can play D&D together.
And they would too. And they so would.
I always buy Scott things like to improve on his life.
Ooh, I love that
something.
though.
Yeah, like something that maybe he already has, but better, or like something that he doesn't think he needs, but he like actually needs.
Yeah. Well, can I have an example?
You can. So the first year we started dating, so we started dating in July. His birthday's not till February. So for Christmas, I bought him a new pillow, like a really nice pillow, because his was about like wafer thin, and
Boys, man,
had no support. It was awful.
Was it
so
the no headboard theory?
No, he has like a whole bed frame.
Okay, thank God. Thank God.
I know. He's got that going for him. But yeah, his pillow was wafer thin. Also, his doona was like non-existent. It may as well have been like a piece of cardboard.
I have never heard the word doona until I started dating Zach.
Does he say it?
Yeah, he calls it a doona, but that word doesn't exist in my vocabulary. It's never been a doona. It's a quilt.
Is it quilt?
It's a quilt. It's always been a quilt.
Doona's American.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so. My mum used to say doona, and my parents are American.
Loki, yeah, they are. I've started to like make this silent debate happen between people. Is it a doona or is it a quilt? Because I'm a big quilt girl. Quilt just sounds fun. Like I have to wash my quilt. Like I sound so fancy.
It's a doona.
It's not a doona though. It's a quilt.
But a quilt is like, isn't a quilt like a blanket that's been stitched together with those patches? That's like quilt, because it's called quilting.
Quilting, but then you've got, I don't know, it's hard because then, but like if you go to the shops, right, and you buy yourself new bed sheets, like it's called a quilt cover.
Yeah, well, it's because we're in Australia.
It's a quilt cover. It's quilt.
All right, I'll give you that.
You know what? I really struggle to have debates like this with you because you are so stubborn.
That's good. That's a good debate.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, except I like the feeling of winning, and when we argue, I don't get that feeling.
Good. I challenge you. That's as I should.
God.
As I should.
I'm going to go talk to someone else. I'll talk to Ella. I'll win.
She'll just be like,
you dumb bitch.
Wow.
It's a doona.
It's a doona. She'll call it a doona her whole life.
She's going to?
Yes.
You're going to get her to call it a doona? It's a quilt.
I think Scott calls it a doona too.
My whole family, it's a quilt.
Now I actually don't know what he calls it.
Zach calls it a doona. But then again, though, like, if we're at Zach's house...
Do you know what?
What?
I think he calls it a bedsheet. Like, just... because he's an idiot.
I hate to say it, but that's a bit of a nick. It's neither doona nor quilt. It is a sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've tainted Zach because when we're at his house, he's like, oh, I put, like, I don't know, like I put new doona covers on or whatever. And then when he's here, he's like, oh, I like your quilt. I don't know why, but at his house it's a doona, and his whole family call them doonas as well.
I think I call it a quilt cover, but the whole thing is a doona. I'm having a revelation.
Well, is the quilt the cover and the doona the inside?
No, because oh my god, this is too much for my brain.
Is that what that means?
No, surely not.
Like the doona's like the actual bit. Like
we cannot talk this long about fucking doonas.
This is important. This is the great debate.
This right here is the great debate.
Is it, guys? Is it a doona or a quilt? Please let us know.
Let us know in the comments.
We'll put it on our story. We'll put it on our story.
On the tube.
On the tube.
On the tube. We cannot talk this long about doonas.
I just think this needs to be talked about more, honestly.
There are bigger things in the world, Lexi.
It's not talked about enough, I think.
Alright.
Whatever.
I was doing something today.
What were you doing?
And I didn't want to tell you about it because, and actually, if I'm being honest, I've been doing it for all of this week. And I've kept it maybe for like a little over a week now.
Mm-hmm.
And because I want your genuine reaction.
Oh, God. Okay.
What do you think it is?
Are you pregnant again?
No, my God, no.
I was going to
What do you think I've
say.
been doing for over a week, please?
Trying for a baby.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. I just want to know if you appreciate my hair today.
I thought about it when we first called. I was like, oh, she got it in a little crown. You know, you're slay. I was like, are those braids?
They are. They are.
Oh my
It's a little braid
God.
crown for those
That
who can't
looks
see. Do you know who else has their hair in a braid crown quite often?
Don't say it. I want to guess. A braid crown, a braid crown, a braid crown, a braid crown. Violet Sorrengail. Slay!
Slay! So, for those who don't know, it was my birthday last Wednesday, October the 18th.
Happy birthday, girl.
And, thanks, Queen. One of my birthday presents was a beautiful little ASMR action there.
Oh, wait, go again. Oh, I love ASMR, hey.
Me too. For my birthday, I got a Kindle.
Slay?
And I'm obsessed. And one of the first books I've got is, oh, you can't see the cover. The fourth wing.
Slay. What are your thoughts? Can you tell me, like, try not to do spoilers for viewers.
Yeah.
But because I have read, tell me where you're up to. What are your thoughts? How do you feel?
Okay, so, I'll bleep it out, but they've just done the deed for the second time.
Oh,
in his
girl,
room.
you're in. You're in, girl.
I'm in.
You're in. So wait, you were reading this last week and you didn't fucking say anything?
No. I kept it a secret because I got the sample, which has like the first 3 chapters. So I don't use Kindle very much. I've only used the app a handful of times. Yeah. So I got the sample. It's got the first 3 chapters. And I'll be honest with you, I was not hooked.
Right.
I was not hooked. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to read this. This does not seem like a story that I would be into.
Neither, actually, you raised a very good point because it starts very slow. You're kind of like, what the hell is this? Like,
yeah.
It's a bit of nothing.
The only reason I kept going was because there's a love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't realize it's a love triangle to start, but you can sense the love triangle coming. And I had already made like predictions on what I thought was going to happen.
Can you tell me your predictions with A being Dane and B being Zayden? Tell me your predictions. And then just cut that out, okay? Cut that out.
Okay, right.
And then tell me your predictions with
I'll just
A
do
and
like
B.
a little. So my bloop. Okay, so my predictions were that Violet would have feelings for both A and B.
Yes.
And not be able to choose but swing towards more A because of their history.
For comfort, yeah, right?
For comfort. And obviously it's like been a long-term thing, not just recent. But that A would then sacrifice themselves and be no more. And then that B would come in and she would realize, oh, actually, this is the person I was supposed to be with, not just because A is gone.
Right.
That was my prediction.
I have read ACOTAR one too many times to assume that the first person you're introduced to is the love interest.
Well, okay, here's the thing, right? And ACOTAR and the Fourth Wing have this trope, and I've not seen this trope in other books, and maybe I just don't read enough.
Yeah.
But it's the trope that the guy that you first like ends up being an absolute asshole.
It's very
Spoilers.
Frozen. It's very Frozen.
Real.
So Frozen.
Not quite as, well, Akatar more so.
Not quite as Disney, babe. Sex.
Not quite as Disney. The sex. I have
How phenomenal was that?
too much sex today. Because
oh my god.
So you know how we talked the other week about how you can't like do 2 books at one time?
Yes.
Well, apparently I can. Because I started this audiobook called, hang on, let me pull it up because I won't
No, because I will drop dead if I've read it.
I don't think you have. I'm listening to the audiobook The Never King, and I started listening to it in the car because Spotify has just released that you get 15 hours of audiobooks a month. Did I tell you this?
Spotify.
So if you've got Spotify Premium, so they've just added audiobooks, and if you've got Spotify Premium, you get 15 hours of audiobook listening a month. Not spawn. Should be spawns.
That's
but
crazy.
not all books are available.
Okay.
So some you still need to pay for. But yeah, there's quite a large library of books. Yeah. And I spend 90% of my time in the car.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Like
you drive a
I
lot.
drive an hour to and from work every day. So I'm like banging out podcasts, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm also, but yeah, I try and bang out some books as well. And I'd heard about this one. And when I started it, I was alone in the car. And then every time I'd gotten in the car since then, I'd been with Ella.
Yeah.
And I just feel really dirty. She's 9 months old, so she doesn't really understand what's going on. But I really just feel disgusting.
She's 9 months old.
She's actually 10.
That's ridiculous.
She's like 10 and 5 days, I know. Listening to this sexy book while she's in the backseat, just chilling. Even if she's sleeping, I feel really weird about it. So
education, babe. Education.
I know. So education. I'm just getting her reading list up. So I've not been able to listen to it much. And actually, I had a psychologist appointment today, which was like 25 minutes-ish from my house. So I listened to this book on the way there, and I literally thought to myself, I was, like 7 chapters in or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not very spicy. That's how I felt about The Fourth Wing, to be honest. I was like, because The Fourth Wing doesn't get spicy until
it's a slow build.
late.
It's a slow build.
It's a slow build.
Yeah. However, that wasn't an issue
like,
for me because it was quite entertaining. Like it was.
Oh, I could not care less about anything else.
Oh, really? I literally.
This one was the same. Well, actually, not so much the same, but I was listening and I was like, this is boring. Like, I'm bored. I don't want to listen to this. I actually said to myself, if I get home and I still don't like it, I'm gonna, DF. What is it? DNF. I'm gonna DNF. Did not finish.
Yes.
Because I'm now. I used to be like, if I start a book, I have to finish it.
Yeah.
Now I value my time and my energy. And we are not spending energy on shitty books that we don't like.
Are you calling The Fourth Wing a shitty book?
No, girl. I'm still reading it.
Oh, sorry. The one thing you have to do for me is you have to film your reaction to the last chapter.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Because Kindle doesn't tell me.
Sorry?
Kindle doesn't tell me what it is. I'll figure it out. So The Never King, driving home, got really spicy really quick.
Oh.
And I felt, even though I was in the car alone, I was driving home and I was like, I hope
people can hear this.
What I'm listening to. I hope no one can hear what I'm listening to right now because holy shit. So, yeah, it's actually quite a short read. The audiobook version's only 4.5 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and I've got 2.5 left.
Because I did The Fourth Wing the physical copy and I did the audiobook too, because again, I do a lot of driving to and from Zach's place and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just chucked it on when I had to leave because I couldn't put it down. I could not put it down because I love to read for plot, suspense, and like romance. Like those are my top three. And like once I'm in, I'm in. Like I probably finish a book like The Fourth Wing within 24 to 48 hours. Like I like hone in and get it done. Like I read Throne of Glass. Book. It's pretty hefty. Yeah. Like I did in high school. Like I was in high school and I read Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass in like a week and a half. Like I was like I like once I'm in, I'm in.
Is that thick too?
Sorry?
Remember. Is that thick too?
Oh, they're huge. Let me get one for you right now. This is the last one in the series.
Holy, yeah. That's like Outlander. Did you read Outlander? No.
No, but I have I've watched the show, yeah.
You watched.
So this is the last book in the Throne of Glass series, and it has 984 pages. And honestly, in high school, I probably would have read this in 3 days maybe.
What? Who has the time?
Yeah, well, clearly me, because I almost failed school. But, like, for The Fourth Wing, the audiobook for The Fourth Wing was, like, 15 hours.
Was it really?
That was my point I was trying to get at before. Because you said the Never King was 4 hours? The
4.5.
4.5. Yeah, the Fourth Wing
is way.
Like 14.5 or 15 hours, I think.
No, stop. That is hang on.
Because also you have to remember at the start of each chapter they've got those like bits.
Yeah.
They've got like
not that long. They're like a sentence.
But if you put them all together, like it's probably an extra couple pages. That just adds on to the plot as well.
20 hours and 43 minutes.
Is Fourth Wing.
Yeah,
it's big.
20 hours.
Yeah, it's massive. Can you look up Kingdom of Ash, please?
Each chapter is at least like 40 minutes long. Okay, what's 39 is the last chapter and I'm up to 31. Wow, I'm almost finished.
Yeah, can you please film your reaction? I need to know because my jaw hit the floor.
33. Okay.
And you're just in time because the second one comes out in like 3 weeks.
That's so good. What am I looking at?
And Audible just announced that they're doing the voiceover, like the theatrical voiceover, the theatrical audio, I think it's called, or dramatic audio for The Fourth Wing.
Same.
And it's being released in December. So they've got a whole cast. They've done music. They've done sound effects. Out of here. Yep, there's a cast, and they're going to redo the audiobooks. Okay. So for it to be like if you close your eyes, you're at the movies, you know?
Yeah. For pricing, that'll be so expensive because. So how much was your book? Do you remember?
The Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
It would have been like $20.
Yep. On Kindle, it was $10.30.
Bargain.
The audiobook on Spotify, it's not one of the ones you can listen to for free, is $40.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I used, because I listened to it on Audible, I used a credit for Audible, so I didn't even pay for it.
Yeah. I couldn't justify Audible. I wasn't using it enough.
I feel like I was going to cancel it after I finished The Fourth Wing because I'm not a huge audiobook girl, but after doing the audiobook in the car, it kind of changed the game for me, honestly, because I just realistically don't have the time to sit down and like read as much as I'd like to.
No. It knocks off so many books. I read a really good book via audiobook, if you can count it as reading. What was the other book you wanted me to look up?
Oh, Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I want to see how many hours that is. It might be close to Fourth Wing, actually. The book is 33 hours and 11 minutes long. Yeah, no, I love books. I would love to do, like, honestly, let us know if you think that this would be worth a good idea, but, like, every couple of months to do, like, a book club episode where we, like, dive into a few series that we've read before and talk about it.
That we could potentially, when things pick up a bit, start a book club. The Bestie Book Club.
The Bestie Book Club.
The Bestie Book Club. and have it on like a Patreon or something where we recommend and talk about books, and once a month we can release a extra episode where we just talk about that one book.
Yeah.
Is my thinking.
Yeah, love that.
So
the only
let us know.
issue with me is that it has to have a good plot, otherwise I am bored.
Yeah.
It has to have a good plot. And it can't be predictable. I need this to be moving. I need it to be working. I need to be thinking about it constantly. Something that I used to like when I first started what was the first book that you read that like got you into reading? Because I know what mine was.
I don't know. I just used to read a lot as a kid. I used to read the Tashi books.
Oh, I don't know what those are.
I haven't read them in like 20 years, literally. And they used to be like fat books. Like they were like these.
What about? Was it just random stuff? Like
it was this kid, I don't know. It was like this little kid and he'd go fight giants and stuff. The other ones I used to read these.
Oh.
Did you ever read these? Selby?
No.
Oh my gosh. It's about a talking dog and nobody knows that it's a talking dog. And it's like a series of short stories, basically, about this talking dog. And there's so many of these. And we used to go see my dad interstate every school holidays, and every time I'd get on a plane, I would buy a new one of these and read it over the trip.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's so funny. I just remember this one story so vividly where he like starts talking and there's another human in the room and no humans know that he can talk.
Yeah.
And at the end of the story, you realise that the human's blind, so he doesn't even know that he's talking to a dog.
Oh.
It's so funny. So like his secret's kept. You're like, oh my god, the Selby secret's out. And then
Oh, those are cute.
It's really cute.
Those are the sort of things that you would like pass down to Ella.
Yeah, that's why I've kept this
like,
one.
Like for her like adolescent reads.
Yeah. I've actually, for her birthday that's coming up in December, I've asked people to like buy their favourite book from whatever genre, from whatever age. Because people just buy you like a heap of kids' books, which is fine. But like I want her to have like a collection as she grows up.
That's
and we'll
really
just give
cute.
them to her when we see fit, and then she can be like, oh, it's for my first birthday or my second birthday. And yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I remember like the books that got me into reading were The Hunger Games. Reading those books.
What?
Reading The Hunger Games. Yep.
Not The Hunger Games.
It was I probably would have been like 13, like maybe 13, but it was during, my parents do the big Christmas shop in December when the shops are open till like midnight.
They're so fun. Have you ever done that?
Oh, it's the best thing ever. But as a kid, like I was like, this blows. Like they were buying boring stuff.
Mum, Dad, I'm bored. I'm
bored. So we were in David Jones. And they had like a tiny book section, and I just like I like to go look at the books. I would read like random stuff, but I wasn't obsessed with books. And I went and just picked up the first Hunger Games book and sat on the floor of David Jones while my parents went around and shopped. And I read like the first 6 chapters of the Hunger Games and was like, I need this book. I need it.
Wow.
Like I love this. So my mum bought it for me that Christmas, bought me the whole box set, and I read them all. And like that just kickstarted. After the Hunger Games, it was The Maze Runner. I read all the Maze Runners, and then it was Divergent, and then it was all like small little books, which then led to ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, and my fantasy smut loving book reader that I am now. But yeah, it was the Hunger Games, I think, the Hunger Games, and then ACOTAR definitely kickstarted the passion up after I read them as well, because there's a big time jump.
Just like, yeah, I've just read a lot. Like I've been a big reader on and off for most of my life. I also remember reading The Mediator.
I've not read that. No,
it's like a young adults novel.
Mm.
I was like in primary school when I read it though. Teen. Maybe not young adults then. But anyway, it's a series of a girl who can talk to ghosts. And she moves to Texas to be with her mum and her stepdad and family, and finds there's like this really cute cowboy that's a ghost in her room because it used to be his house.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just like, I think it's like a 7 or 8 book series where
Wow.
him and her like do ghost things, basically. They're like somebody, like on her first, like in the first book, somebody dies, and it's kind of like Ghost Whisperer, but for kids or for like teenagers. It's like she finds the ghost and she has to help it cross over and stuff, but he can't cross over. And then, huge spoiler at the end, I don't even really remember what happens, but something happens like cosmically, and he comes back to life, like physically.
Whoa.
So that they can be together.
Wow.
Yeah. So that talk about slow burn, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
At least that's how I remember it. Maybe that's not what happened, but
that's crazy. Has there ever been a book that has made you be like, what is this? Like absolutely atrocious. Like you couldn't finish it, and
okay,
you'll just never get back into it again.
Oh, never finished.
You'll just never pick it up again. Like just no.
Yeah, but I think I got rid of it. Oh no, there's one here called In Another Life. When I was in my big young adults phase, couldn't tell you what happens in that, but I remember not liking it, and I couldn't even push through.
Yeah.
But there have been some that have been so bad.
Yeah.
That I finished them. My friend recommended a Nicholas Sparks book, and I've not read any of his stuff. I know he wrote The Notebook, and I've seen the movie, and I like the movie.
Yeah.
But I've not read any of his books. So she gave me this one, and she was like, "Oh, you have to read this. You have to read this." And I was like, "This is insufferable. Like, why are you recommending this to me?" And I finished it, and I was like, "Catherine, this is the shittiest book I have ever read in my whole life. Like, it is like." I don't like the characters. I'm not invested in this love, whatever's going on. Like, it's trash. And she was like, yeah, I know. I just needed someone to suffer with me.
What are friends for, right?
I know. She's we're like the sisterhood of the traveling book. Like,
yeah,
we'll pass it along and everyone can suffer with us.
Yeah, exactly. I started to read this book called Crave. It's a series, but it's about vampires.
Oh.
At this boarding academy. It was like on Book Talk. I was like, sure. I like the books that I have picked up from Book Talk were good so far. So I was like, okay, I'll trust the girlies on TikTok, and I bought Crave, and I was just like, I felt like I was banging my head against a wall over and over and over again. I don't know why, but it was just like, it was cringy, and I just couldn't love it, and one day I just put it down, and I've never picked it back up again.
Yeah, nah. Like I said, there's a couple of books now that I'm like, I don't finish. I don't have the energy to finish you. I don't care what the story ends up like.
I'm done.
Okay, we're almost at the end. So should we do our little new seggy?
New segment? What should we name it?
You tell me.
Advice for the besties? Advice for the bestie? The Bestie Council.
Bestie Council.
The Bestie Council.
The Bestie Counselling session is now in session.
In session. Do you want to hit them with your advice, or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Go.
So, if you're planning a wedding, like I did 2 years ago, whatever you think your wedding is going to cost, like if you're not married yet, obviously, maybe you're not even engaged yet, but you're thinking about getting engaged and you're thinking about a wedding and the costs, whatever you think your wedding's going to cost, double it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Everything costs way more. And even if it doesn't cost as much as doubling what your original budget is, at least you'll be in the clear.
Yeah, so true.
And I just
rather
rather overshot than undershot.
100%. Because girl math, you made money.
You've made money.
You've
basically made money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Girl math. You just girl math weddings.
Go math. Yeah. Weddings are expensive.
Wow. That's good advice, though. I feel like it's always a bit underestimated because they're expensive. Weddings are expensive.
It's so expensive.
So expensive. Oh, I keep telling Zach
so many costs. Yeah.
Mm.
You do get to that point in the wedding planning, like 3 months, 2 months before the wedding, and you're like, should have just eloped.
Should have just eloped.
This crap.
But believe it or not, Zach's the one that wants the big white wedding.
Fair enough. Like, that's good fun. I would regret have not done. Wait, I would have regretted not having done a proper wedding. We had so much fun.
Your wedding was incredible. I had the best time at your wedding.
Thank you so much.
It was great.
What's your advice?
My advice is actually so funny after yours because the difference in our lives. You're like, for your wedding, girls, wedding, girl math, wedding. And I'm just like, girl, if you're going to fake tan, use cold water.
Wait, what? No, explain this to me.
So if I don't
fake tan, clearly.
But now you're going to, right?
Okay, sure.
If you fake tan at all, you need to soak your tan off before you reapply tan, correct? Right?
I thought you just scrubbed it off.
Yeah, you do scrub it off. Scrub it off.
Oh, okay. Yep.
With hot water, like let your skin soak in all the hot, warm steaminess. Open your pores up. Exfoliate it all off. Shave. Use a exfoliant. This is how I tan. Use an exfoliant. Wash that off. And then you're going to do your hair, like wash your hair. Only wash your hair with cold water.
Yes.
Only wash your hair with cold water. And then after your hair's done and out of the way, your conditioner comes down your back, right? That's why a lot of people have back knee, is because of conditioner. Fun fact.
Go on.
And then you use your body wash, but you rinse your body wash off with cold water because it speeds up the pore closing process so that when you go to apply fake tan after your shower, you don't get little black dots everywhere.
Tia! Girl, I get black dots all the time. Actually, you know what I do get? And apparently this is like a thing that people don't know about because I worked with a girl once who like chronically self-tanned, and she said that she's been self-tanning for like 10 or 15 years or something. I always get these little triangles in my arm, like in the divot of my arm? Yeah, like in the divot of my elbow.
In this bit?
Yeah, like it was more like a diamond. Yeah, literally like that. But it doesn't matter if I stand there with my arms straight for however long until the tan dries. Like as soon as I'm moving, and she's like, no, I've never had that issue. I'm like, okay.
I definitely used to have that issue, but then I properly took the time to remove the skin. I also shave my arms. There's
no hair there.
There can be. There's little baby hairs in there. But also, if you sleep in tan, did you sleep in your tan?
Maybe. No, actually, I don't think so.
Sleeping in tan is a bit uncomfortable, but once you get used to it, it's perfect because you don't do anything. So you have no risk of.
But I sleep like this with my hands
I
under my
tamed last
face.
night and I woke up this morning like this. I had a big circle on my cheek. And I had to scrub my face this morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, stop. That's so funny.
Oh gosh. But what am I talking about now?
Cold water, tan.
The triangles. The triangles. I sleep with a long sleeve and long pants. And before I fall asleep, when I get into bed, I do this. I like tuck the fabric into my armpits, and then I tuck the fabric into the divots of my elbows, and I tuck the fabric in between like my thighs and under my knees.
No, stop.
Yeah, but like you got to find things that are like loose enough to do that, but then I don't get those little bits.
There you go.
I've been tanning for
with Lex.
Thank you so much. I've been tanning for years, and I'm trying to master the process.
You're doing good.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, that's it. We're done.
Oh, finished. Another epic
Episode
done.
3.
This is too easy.
Done.
This is so easy.
Slay.
This is so easy.
This one will be a lot shorter than the other ones.
We heard your responses.
We did. We heard
your responses. We're gonna start accommodating to your needs.
We are. I have been begged to only have 30-minute episodes.
Me too.
And to that, I've said absolutely not. There is no way we could cut this down to 30 minutes. Sorry.
No way.
But surely this time it'll be under an hour. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, it'll be under an hour, but won't be 30 minutes. Sorry.
It won't be 30 minutes. It cannot be 30 minutes.
No, it can't.
We talk way too much.
We do. I'm sorry. I
didn't even get through my list of things I wanted to talk to you about today. So
that's perfect. We can just use it for another...
the next episode. So you're just going to have to listen to next episode because I have some important news, but I'm going to tell you next step.
Ooh.
So little teaser. Okay, well that's it. That's Bestie Please, and we'll see you. Oh wait, where can they find us?
Where can they find us? You can follow us on Instagram, Bestie Please Pod, and
where else can they find it?
Oh, you can stream these episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Yep.
And you can follow us on our Instagram accounts, Nonna Nina at Nonna Nina and at Alexia .Branton.
Branton.
I think that's right.
Nonna, NONANEENA _. And also we're on TikTok.
We will be on TikTok. I will get behind the program.
Lexi has officially become our social media manager. So
if you have any issues,
congratulations for the promotion.
Promoted
for your own podcast.
My own podcast, that's fine. But if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to flick us a DM or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be talking to me directly as of now.
Only Lexi.
Only me. I actually don't let Nina see anything we do over on Instagram.
No, it's all secret. No, and the same with Lex. She doesn't actually know what the podcasts sound like until they come out.
Yeah, true. I'm not here. This is AI.
This is AI.
This is AI.
I'll see you next week.
Bye, besties. Love you.
Love you. Bye.